Right now on APSU-TV, fire strikes Clarksville. Families forced to evacuate. Confederate monuments, should they stay or should they go? And students challenge societal roles. Plus local sports, weather, and more. APSU-TV News starts right now. Glad you could join us, and good morning, everyone. I'm Brandon Crosslin.
And I'm Sydney Hawkins. A fire broke out Tuesday afternoon, January 29th at Ashford Place Apartments. APSU's Hunter Sanders spoke with resident Josh Brown, who received a call while he was out that his apartment was on fire.
When I showed up, it was really windy. It looked like the top of our apartment was on fire, and it looked like it had started in the back of the building. And then our room is directly next to that, and the wind just kept pushing the fire forward. And then it took them probably about 2 hours to get it out. And we kind of just sat there and watched it the whole time. And by the end of it, we could clearly tell that the room was like burnt down and like mostly everything was gone.
Josh says no one was seriously injured, but many families were affected, including a few pets that were left behind.
Luckily, we have like friends and family to take care of us, but a lot of people the apartment complex we lived in was a family apartment complex. Because it's a 3-bedroom apartment complex. There was just 3 college roommates that stayed in there, but everyone around us had, parents, multiple kids. So I'm sure, it's a lot harder on them, because we have like our parents that can pay for stuff. We have friends that can help donate stuff. So I'm sure it's a lot harder on those people. So if you could just like pray for them, and hopefully they can get everything figured out.
If you wish to aid these families, the Sango Walmart is collecting donations for families based on need. Radio personalities from Q108 will be on site to help relieve these families today. February 1st from 12 in the afternoon until 6 in the evening, and on Saturday from noon to 6.
Well, Clarksville police hope you can help them track down a group of men accused of ripping off a beer delivery truck. Detectives say the burglary was caught on this surveillance video from a business on Crosslin Avenue on January 21st. Police say the footage showed the men carrying out at least 5 cases of beer from the back of the truck. Investigators say cameras inside the business also captured these close-up photos of the suspected thieves inside the store. If you have any information, give police a call, courtesy of Clarksville Police.
Confederate monuments are always a controversial topic. Austin Peay students and faculty talk about it. Art and Design's Dr. Tony Morris and history major Kendrick Nunnery held a critical conversation titled Confederate Monuments, Should They Stay or Go? On Tuesday. Students were able to talk about Confederate monuments in Clarksville and how they felt about them. They shared personal experiences and even voiced what they felt these monuments symbolized and how they affect society.
APSU Theater Department is putting on In the Blood this Thursday. Created by Suzanne Laurie Parks, the play tells a story about a woman named Hester who tries to make the lives of her 5 fatherless children better. APSU's Victoria Bolkcom went behind the scenes with the cast and crew.
I got a chance to talk with the cast and crew about In the Blood, about the story, and here's what they had to say.
The story takes place present day, and it's just about a homeless woman. She's a black woman with 5 children, and they all have different fathers. And it's just really about how like society today, and a thing that we kind of ignore in general, is that we don't really tend to help people who are underneath us or beneath us. And it's really about how like capitalism and being different really just drives us apart, and people who are under us don't get advantage, or they don't get help the way they should.
I'm excited about In the Blood because it's taking the black culture and kind of putting it out there for people to see, because I know that we don't really get that much spotlight. It is giving us people of color, black people, a chance to shine and stuff. It's really putting out like a story out there that I feel like really needs to be told.
Director Talon Beeson said that this show gives more opportunities to have a diverse cast. In the Blood runs from February 7th through the 10th in the Margaret Fort Traherne Laboratory Theater. Tickets are available at the box office. This is Victoria Bolkcom with APSU-TV News.
In the Blood opens next Thursday, February 7th, and runs through Sunday the 10th. Up next, we have weather with Zach Pugh.
How will you lead to a better future? Will you lead through life-changing innovations, or will your leadership shine through the quality of your work? Success is defined by the individual. So it's time to think about the person you want to be and where you will learn to lead through excellence. It's time to become a governor at Austin Peay.
Louisville Metro Police snipers use Old Baseball Stadium as training ground. CNN's Carolyn Callahan interviews Lieutenant Paul Humphrey.
We train every week. The snipers train an extra day every month. But to train in an actual venue inside the city is it's new to us, and it's a program we want to get up and running and make sure that we get that training, because it is a skill set that is unfortunately needed.
The dangerous weather sweeping the Midwest has been blamed for at least 11 deaths. CNN's Ryan Young has the latest.
A brutal Arctic freeze sweeping over nearly a quarter of the country, bringing the coldest air in a generation to parts of the Midwest.
It's freezing cold. My face, my toes, everything.
With a low temperature of -23 and a wind chill of -52, the Windy City's temperatures lower than parts of Antarctica and Alaska, causing giant ice breaks to blanket the river and a wall of ice steam to form along Lake Michigan and across the skyline. The dangerously cold weather even showing its strength inside.
The steam froze around where the leaks are in my front door.
In Minnesota, a wind chill of 65 below zero. These ultra-marathoners crossing the finish line with their faces fully covered in ice. Police uniforms frozen completely upright to showcase the freezing cold. Residents in both Minnesota and Michigan asked to turn down their thermostats to conserve natural gas. Meanwhile, snow squalls ripping through the northeast, bringing near whiteout conditions and winds of up to 30 miles per hour in New York and Philadelphia. This time-lapse video showing the squall blowing through New York City, lake-effect snow creating blizzard-like conditions in upstate New York, dropping 2 to 3 inches of snow per hour in Buffalo, where temperatures dipped to -35 below zero. Near Rochester, a 21-vehicle wreck bringing this highway to a standstill. A snow squall also to blame for this 27-vehicle pileup near Reading, Pennsylvania.
We couldn't see anything because the snow was being driven perfectly horizontal.
First responders across the country forced to brave the treacherous conditions.
The temperature not only affects the manpower, but also the hose lines freeze up instantly.
Firefighters in Indiana covered in ice as they battled this house fire in -22-degree weather.
Now for more on our local weather, let's head over to Zach Pugh.
Thanks, Brendan. We've all been shaken up by the freezing temperatures, but CNN reporter Winnie Wright is coming out of Memphis to remind us about our faucets.
Flood your house from if it's upstairs or in the attic down, insulation, sheetrock will be on the floor, carpet be ruined, hardwood floor.
Lewis Gwynn has been a plumber for 25 years. He's seen his fair share of horror stories caused by frozen and burst pipes.
I have seen brand new homes with frozen pipes. They call us, there's water running everywhere. It's behind a marble wall or behind a tile wall in a bathroom or a shower, usually the worst. And every time we have to bust it out to get to it. And it makes a mess.
It sounds expensive.
It is.
I asked if he was surprised to hear Tennessee is 4th worst in the country for frozen pipes, according to State Farm.
I am not. We are not equipped for cold weather, below freezing weather, so I would not doubt that.
What's the importance of having water running during a storm like we're expecting?
We want to have the water running, hot and cold both, and you want to leave it dripping about like that, because hot water will freeze faster. As long as water's moving, it will not freeze as quick.
The both water trick was a new one for me. Next, I asked Gwen if there was any truth behind the open cabinets rule.
That lets warm air from your house get under there, circulate air to the pipes itself, the drain, and the hot and cold water coming in. It'll get warm air behind the wall where the pipes come out of the ground, and it'll help it keep freezing.
And it's not just about what's going on inside your house. What's outside is important as well.
Absolutely. On the outside faucet, if you have a water hose hooked up, don't leave it hooked up when cold weather's coming. Unhook it, put a faucet cover on it so it's covered. If it's dripping, call us to repair it beforehand. A dripping outside faucet will freeze immediately.
Well, let's take a look at our local temperatures, or actually our national temperatures here in this great country. We've got New York sitting here at 19 degrees. We'll come down to where Super Bowl Sunday is happening. We had Atlanta for 50 degrees. Chicago is at 17 degrees. Then we go over to Denver at 44. Dallas is at a cool 61 degrees. Seattle's up here at 49, and Los Angeles is at 62. That is your current temperatures. Today's highs, we have Memphis here at 54 degrees. Nashville sitting at 49 degrees. Chattanooga with 54, and Knoxville being a little chilly at 48. Of course, Clarksville's high today is at 47 degrees. Our lows for today are going to be Memphis at 42 degrees. We have Nashville at 37, Clarksville at 35, Chattanooga at 34, and Knoxville at 32 degrees. Tonight's temperatures, we have excuse me, wind at southeast for 3 miles per hour at 35 degrees with a 10% chance of precipitation. So if you plan on going out tonight, make sure you bundle up, wear those jackets, and have an umbrella with you as well. And then we're going to go out to our 5-day forecast. For Friday, we're sitting with just a little bit of showers this morning. Once again, a high of 47 and a low of 35. Saturday, we are sitting out here with our clouds in the morning, and then a little bit of sun break coming in through the midday. So you might want to go out and catch the weather a little bit, because the high is 61 and the low is 39. For Sunday, for the big game, we have partly cloudy skies, the high of 64 and a low of 50. Monday, we're going to have some showers that night for a high of 67 and a low of 56. And Tuesday, we have showers all day with a high of 66 and a low of 57. Still ahead, Angela Peterson with Political Corner, and Brice Bement and Hunter Sanders with Sports. APS-TV News. We'll be right back.
How will you lead to a better future? Will you lead through life-changing innovations, or will your leadership shine through the quality of your work? Success is defined by the individual. So it's time to think about the person you want to be and where you will learn to lead through excellence. It's time to become a governor at Austin Peay.
Welcome to today's Political Corner. I'm Angela Peterson. While the government reopened last Friday and federal workers are getting paid again, it may be short-lived. President Trump says without a wall in negotiations, it's a waste of his time.
February 15th, the committee will come back. And if they don't have a wall, I don't even want to waste my time reading what they have, because it's a waste of time. And by the way, if you go to Tijuana and you take down that wall, you will have so many people coming into our country that Nancy Pelosi will be begging for a wall. She'll be begging for a wall. She will say, Mr. President, please, please give us a wall.
Chuck Fleischman addressed the status of negotiations between President Trump and Secretary Nancy Pelosi.
We've heard a lot of things from Democratic members of the House, Democratic members of the Senate. I really don't know exactly where the other side is right now, but we need to get there. I think we need to focus on our common ground. There's a lot in the Homeland Security bill, John, that we do agree on, and that's the good news. There's going to be some sticking points. I tend to support the position that we need not only border security, but barrier security. There's a lot of barriers out there right now that need repair, that are porous, that have been set up. For example, Henry and I are very good friends, but he showed me some barriers that were set up. They block cars, but they don't block individuals coming over. So rather than digging in, I think we need to lay all of our cards on the table, negotiate, and realize that there's going to be a lot of differing views on a lot of differing issues, but we're going to need something that not only the Senate and the House appropriators can agree on, but ultimately that the White House will be able to sign off on, and I think we can get there. It was very good. I entered the room with a lot of optimism and a lot of hope that we could actually sit down and work through our issues. And the tone in the room, really from every member, whether they were Republican or Democratic, senators or House members, was very positive.
In other news, Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris said during her town hall that she supported Medicare for all. This week, she's doubling down on the position, tweeting, "I support Medicare for all." But do people really know what that means? CNN reporter Dr. Sanjay Gupta has that.
I actually feel very strongly about this, is that we need to have Medicare for all.
It could be Medicare for all.
That's what Medicare for all is all about.
But what exactly is Medicare for all about? Depends who you ask. Medicare, which has been around since 1965, is the government-run health insurance program that primarily provides Americans 65 and older with basic health care coverage, covering hospital stays and doctor's visits.
So put simply, this program would then expand Medicare to everyone?
It would provide essentially free care to patients when they go see a physician or go to the hospital.
Kenneth Thorpe is not a politician. He's a professor of health policy and management at Emory University.
Free sounds wonderful. Who doesn't want to have free care? But the reality is, in order to finance this, people are going to have to pay more in taxes.
Health care in America must be a right, not a privilege.
Bernie Sanders introduced the Medicare for All bill in 2017. In his bill, health care is covered by taxpayers with no out-of-pocket cost.
That's all for the Political Corner today. Back to you, Brandon.
Thank you, Angela. Commuters on Riverside Drive starting today through February 6th may run into traffic delays. Clarksville transportation officials expect the Riverside Drive and Cumberland Drive intersection to be closed around noon for an unknown amount of time each day due to haulers transporting beams to the McClung Bridge construction site. Drivers are asked to watch for delays and find alternate routes if possible. Still ahead, Brice, Bement, and Hunter Sanders tell us what's happening in the world of sports. APSU-TV News will be right back.
Thanks, Brandon. This week, the Austin Peay men's basketball had a devastating 96-92 loss against Belmont, ending the Govs' 6-0 winning streak at home. The game stayed intense throughout, but the Govs were able to break away in the first half, leading 50-40 going into halftime. Belmont retaliated in the second half and regained the lead, but both teams fought hard until the end. An outstanding performance from Chris Porter Bunton made his career high of 24 points while averaging 17.4 points a game. Now, despite the loss, Austin Peay currently sits in the third in the OVC, with Belmont sitting behind them in fourth. The Governors are away this week, but play tomorrow at Jacksonville State at 4 p.m. The game is available to watch on ESPN+.
The men's tennis team is in full swing for the spring season. Although they're off to a rough start at 0-3 on the year, the team has high expectations for the year ahead. The Governors will be traveling to Chattanooga tomorrow to take on the University of Tennessee Chattanooga Mocs. The team is led by seniors Chad Woodham and Almontis Ozelis and features several fresh faces, including 2 freshmen from Sweden who hope to make an immediate impact on the team.
Now, the women's basketball team played Belmont as well this past weekend and again did not get the results they were hoping for, losing 62-80. Now, the Govs continue to fight, but it was not enough to get the results. Austin Peay had a rocky start in the second period and was not able to find the basket, putting the Bruins up by 12 going into halftime. Ariel Gonzalez-Varner got her third and fourth foul early in the third quarter, while Belmont continued on her scoring frenzy. Nyjah Crawford, who had her career high with 18 points in the game, nailed a 3 to end the third quarter, allowing the Govs to only be down by 4 headed into the fourth. Now, the Govs seemed to have grabbed some momentum there, but then Belmont came out hot and the Govs fell short, losing the game. Austin Peay currently sits in 6th place in the OVC standings. Meanwhile, Tennessee Tech and Belmont are currently at the top with the conference record of 7-1. The Govs play Jacksonville State tomorrow at 2 p.m. The game is available to watch on ESPN+.
On the other side of the court for the Governors is the women's tennis team. The Governors are led by Spanish seniors Lydia Llanes Garcia and Claudia Llanes Garcia. Lydia is returning as the reigning OVC Player of the Year. Sophomore Fabian Schmidt and transfer Tatiana Lopez are also respectively ranked as the 3rd and 4th players in the conference. The Lady Govs are off to a very hot start, currently sitting at 3-0 on the year, hoping to improve to 4-0 this afternoon at 2 p.m. as they take on the Eagles of Carson Newman.
Now, the NFL season is coming to an end this Sunday in Atlanta, Georgia, where there's a big game taking place. With the 6th championship in sight for the New England Patriots, they will be taking on the Los Angeles Rams at 5:30 this Sunday. Both the teams competing for the Lombardi Trophy are coming off rather controversial overtime wins.
The Patriots beating my home team, the Kansas City Chiefs, 37-31, and the Rams coming off a 26-23 win over the New Orleans Saints. It's likely to be a battle of the quarterbacks as the Patriots are led by future Hall of Famer Tom Brady, who will be going head-to-head with Rams quarterback Jared Goff. It's expected to be a very entertaining game as the Patriots are favored by just 2.5 points. You can tune in on CBS this Sunday at 5:30 Central Time.
That's all we have for sports. APSU TV News will be right back.
Award-winning science author Sam Kean will be at Austin Peay State University at 6 p.m. on February 7th in the Sunquist Science Complex. Kean is a notable writer who has been said to make science engaging in his books. His latest book, Caesar's Last Breath, was named by Guardian the Science Book of the Year in 2017. Kean will be giving copies of his novel Caesar's Last Breath during his visit.
The winning ticket for Tennessee Powerball was purchased Wednesday night right here in Clarksville, which came with a big payout. The Southern Service gas station on 601 Hornbuckle Road was the location where the player purchased the $50,000 ticket. The winner cannot be identified until the prize is claimed, and the Tennessee Education Lottery Corporation uses the ticket funds to completely support its scholarship program, which has raised nearly $4.8 billion since 2004 for Tennessee students.
It's not too late to get rid of bad habits and begin a new journey this year. The Clarksville-Montgomery County Square, Governor's Square Mall will be hosting a New Year, New You fair where people are able to enjoy motivational speeches, fitness demonstrations, and local vendors. The fair will take place this Saturday, February 2nd from 10 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. Will you guys be tuning into the Super Game?
The big game?
The big game? The Super Game? Yeah, I'll be watching that.
Well, yeah.
Go
What
Rams.
team are you guys going for?
The Rams.
Yeah, Rams.
Rams. all right.
I've been telling people the only way I would support the Patriots is if Tom Brady would retire after he won.
That's
Ooh.
Sorry. He's won too many. I think he's had a fulfilling career, so I think it's time to let other people have it.
Yeah, I talked about the Patriots cheating the other day, and I totally triggered that.
Deflategate.
Yeah, I triggered one of the guys who I have a play with, and yeah, he was like, "Let me tell you the facts," and I was like, "Please, sir."
Did you hear about the kid that won the science project, the science fair, for doing the project on Tom Brady and the Patriots cheating?
No, I didn't.
He won the science fair for that.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting.
He's got all the push pins on the board. Like,
I got it all figured out, guys. Just stretching, racking his brain.
Yeah.
I figured this out. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it.
I didn't get to ask you guys last time, but what did you do over winter break? Did you guys make any New Year's resolutions?
No.
I personally cut back on caffeine. I have to cut back on caffeine.
That's brave.
I know. In the college world, you got to be brave for that. That's terrible.
What about you, Brandon?
My winter break was pretty humdrum. Nothing much to talk about.
Yeah. You didn't go and visit any places, spend time with family, nothing?
I spent time with family. I was home with family. Had my girlfriend over for the first time at our house. So, yeah.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Be sure to join us in the interaction by liking us on Facebook at APSU-TV Clarksville and on Instagram with APSU_TV.
Thanks for watching another edition of your Govs News Weekend Update.
And as always,
let's go Peay!